So one of my favorite things to be able to help patients with is when they're having menstrual cramps or if they're trying to get pregnant. This move works really well for both of those. It loosens the pelvis so the menstrual cramps aren't quite as intense. You're going to want to do it about 2 to 3 days prior to cycle every month for a few months in order for it to make full effect. But eventually you don't have to do it at all anymore, and that's kind of the idea. If patients looking to get pregnant, I recommend doing this once a week until they get pregnant. So it may be a little bit of an ongoing process, but then once their pelvis is all nice and loosey-goosey, makes a better home for baby. It loosens all of the broad ligaments in here, allows the uterus to be more relaxed and not so tugged on by all those ligaments, and tends to make them pregnant a little bit faster. So what we're going to do is just have the patient lay face down on the table, and then I'm going to take the top of the palm of my hand and put the ASIS against it. So I'm going to slide my hand under the front of her hips. You always want to let the patients know what you're doing. You're going to slide that in so my fingers stay flat, but they're going to be in about this position. And her ASIS is this little bone right in here. My hands are going to be in this position as she's laying flat. So I'm going to be holding there. I'm going to be pulling apart. So I'm going to slide in there, make sure your body's nice and stable, tightening your core, all that kind of good stuff, so that you don't end up hurting yourself while you're working on your patient. I'm going to ask her to take a deep breath in. You'll see her belly rise and her back rise, and as she relaxes, I'm going to pull up a little bit. I'm pulling up and I'm also pulling out on the ASIS. Deep breath again for me, and out. So each time you just allow your hands to come up a little bit as she breathes in. And then as she breathes out, you just hold that position. And she'll tell you this feels heavenly, feels incredibly good. If anyone's cramping, it immediately relieves cramping. It's really fantastic. And then at the end of that last breath, one more time, and out. And at the end of that last breath, I just slide my hands along that lower back and press down. What this does is it opens up the pelvis in the front and kind of transmits any of that stress back down into the gluteus maximus, which can more than handle it. And she'll tell you again, that feels just really, really good. Immediately relieves any back cramps, any back pain, just by pulling this apart and compressing it in the back. And then butt squeezes are a great support exercise for this, and Dina does them already, so that works out really well.